what we have we must share, and especially as Kashmiris who had to leave their own homes and then move to a new place and start their lives afresh. My sister and I were like teaching assistants to her, so at the age of like 12 and 13 we kind of became, we never knew this was called volunteering, but it was an idea of how might we support an ecosystem around us, or how might we share what we have. And that became like the space that gave me so much purpose and joy and meaning. It wasn't just about reading, writing, arithmetic in a classroom. Like, it was about building a country, because education changes lives, and education changes especially lives of those who come from the most marginalized sections of our society. Slam Out Loud truly comes from a space of creating safe spaces where our children can find their own voice, and the arts are such a fabulous way to do that. I try and remind myself that ये सब मेरे सपनों के बाहर है, जो मुझे मिल गया और मुझे मिल रहा है, तो काफ़ी अमेजिंग है उस तरीके से अगर देखा जाए तो सब कुछ ऑलरेडी बोनस में चल रहा है लाइफ में.
Thank you for joining VTalk. This podcast isn't just about your current success. It's about the why, the how, what makes leaders the leaders that they are, the philosophies behind what they do, the values that they have, and the struggle that they go through. So thank you so much for joining us. Today we have Jigyasa Labru. Jigyasa is the founder of Slam Out Loud, a very innovative nonprofit organization that works on bringing the arts to students who otherwise don't have access to it. From Dharamshala, she transfers this journey to Teach for India, to building Slam Out Loud, and then Harvard. And today she's leading a very successful organization. So welcome, Jigyasa.
Hi.
So let's start with just understanding where you're from, your story. I know bits of it, but I don't know all of it. So I'd like to hear you tell me from where you are and a little bit about you.
All right. I am from the mountains. My family is originally from Kashmir. Grew up in Dharamshala, and whenever I have to describe Dharamshala to someone, I call it a spiritually and naturally abundant place. I had a forest in my school. Wow. And I practically grew up not knowing how competitive our country is. Only when I reached the 10th grade was when, the boards were supposed to happen, and being good academically, which I was. But at that point, it just became important, and then you had to be good like at a national level. So I grew up playing a lot. I grew up, spending a lot of time in nature. And I grew up knowing a very beautiful, calm, joyful childhood, which was about, doing what you need to do well, being kind to people, and having fun. And I think that was just a delightful experience. I am highly recommend growing up in a place like Dharamshala. I also think, like, when you see a mountain every day when you wake up, this understanding of our place in the world, and of what a speck we are in the grand scheme of things, it's very, very real. When you see such a big structure every day in front of you, I think like gratitude, or a sense of, we can only do so much in the world, becomes very, very real. So growing up there was just fabulous. And growing up around friends, and in a family where, I also got to volunteer a lot, or I got to learn things like service, or the idea of inclusion, involving others in your life.
So bachpan se you were doing this?
Bachpan se hi, yes. So my mum was really big on the idea of, what we have we must share, and especially as Kashmiris who had to leave their own homes and then move to a new place and start their lives afresh. Like, I think the idea of I think for her also, and for my family in general, and it's also very true for my grandmother. So when it used to be, so my grandmother and my family moved from Kashmir to, so my mother's part of the family actually moved to Jammu. And then when my mother got married, they moved to Dharamshala in Himachal. And so my nani moved to Jammu, which is a really hot place for someone who lived in Kashmir all their lives. There used to be, all the construction workers near my nani's house used to come to her home every couple of hours to just like get water. and it was the only home where they came, and there were my nanny would keep bottles and bottles of water in the fridge, and the idea would be that the construction workers need water in the day, and we'll help them out even when they're in a situation where they themselves needed help, right? So I think that got passed down to my mother, who used to teach at a slum nearby. And even a place like Dharamshala had a small slum. So my mom used to teach there, and my sister and I were like teaching assistants to her. So at the age of like 12 and 13, we kind of became, we never knew this was called volunteering, but it was an idea of how might we support an ecosystem around us, or how might we share what we have. And that was a thing that was ingrained into us right from when we were children. The other really wonderful thing that happened was I was encouraged to do more than get good marks, and that was also fabulous, because I remember trying everything at school. So from singing to music to dance to debate to any form of art, visual art. I learned traditional Kangra miniature painting. So
Wow.
yeah, so
I don't even know what that is.
it's
but
essentially you're drawing small gods.
Achha.
That's what you learn.
Acha, jo
And-
mandiron mein you find
exactly,
in Himachal. Acha.
yeah. So that was what was available in terms of if you wanted to teach a child how to paint in Dharamshala, then that was one of the limited opportunities. So you had to learn how to draw gods and goddesses, and it was very intricate and very beautiful, taught us a lot of patience. So got exposed to a lot of arts also while growing up, and arts and all the co-curricular activities in school. That was also a great enjoyable part of my childhood. I realized that
So from such a diverse childhood,
हाँ
आप engineering कैसे पहुंच गए
मैं
फिर?
engineering कैसे पहुंच गई. I think a big part of it was growing up as the older sister, older sibling, in a family where it was just my mom. We lost our dad, and I think financial independence became a big thing for me. And the story that the world told me, and then I told myself, was to get a job, you have to be an engineer in India, and you will immediately get a job. Like if I do like an English honors or a psychology honors, it will take me years to get a job that pays, and it will take me time to become financially independent. So I think engineering just made sense because of that. I'm still grateful that happened, because I think engineering taught me to work hard. Earlier I was doing things that were so natural to me, or work came from an aptitude, and then I had to do engineering, which was truly not my aptitude, but I did well because I just like worked hard through it and like got it in the end. Like I was at the end of it, I also did enjoy that degree.
And then while you were doing that, like, what were all the other things you were, I mean, because you told me you were doing all these really interesting things while you were doing engineering, which is not normal. ज़्यादातर engineering के बच्चे सिर्फ पढ़ाई करते हैं. 4
Correct.
साल तक, I think, I was in engineering और ऐसे सर नीचे रख के मैंने सिर्फ पढ़ाई की है. मैं technically class के बाहर बैठती थी मैं, पर in your case, how were you sort of, like, all the things that you were telling me,
Yeah.
how did you do all of that? What prompted you to do all of that also?
When I went to engineering, I think this was a point of a big failure in life. I think this was my first rendezvous with real failure in life. I think I had done everything I had done until that point, till I was in 12th grade, was to a level of excellence. So I was, even when I did art, I was great at art. I was great at music, great at academics till then. And everybody from like my teachers at school to my family, extended family, everybody had great expectations of me and my career. And so did I. But I think after 11th, 12th and, doing the rounds of the engineering exams, which I didn't do well at, I ended up in an okay college for my engineering. And I think that felt like a blow. It didn't feel like, an existential life would end kind of blow, but it did feel like a failure. And I think at that point, it became about how do I redeem myself from this a little bit. Some part of it was also, however, about the opportunity of going to a city like Delhi, to move to Delhi with all its new experiences, with all the opportunities it had to offer. And I don't mean the opportunities of like clubbing, I truly mean the opportunities of doing different kinds of internships or volunteering, or the number of things you could get involved in across colleges in Delhi. and also going away from home. So all of these seemed like opportunities where I could find more joy, where I could find more space to be me and discover other interests. Because when I went to classroom and when I saw the syllabus for engineering, I was like, I did enjoy physics, chemistry, math, not math so much, physics, chemistry, but I also had in school like a Hindi or English or music or something else that brought me a lot of joy.
So engineering was just boring.
A little bit for me, but it taught me how to work really hard. It like the how I learned to work hard happened because of engineering, because until then everything was very connected to nature and aptitude, and I was doing well at everything, so I really struggled in my engineering.
And what all did you do to get all these other experiences to feel excited or feel, I guess, थोड़ा ऐसे जिंदगी में लगे कि जिंदगी है और सिर्फ पढ़ाई नहीं कर रहे.
Correct. So I attended all university fests. Like जो भी university कोई भी college कोई fest organize कर रहा है, they used to have competitions there. Like music के होते थे, या debate के होते थे, MUNs होते थे. मैंने हर चीज में participate किया है, and which was incredibly joyful. Another thing that I did was, I know platforms like Let's Intern was a platform, or Internshala was also developing as a platform, or these things were coming up where you could find these jobs. So I applied to a few of them. I ended up working with the Padma Bhushan artist Jatin Das,
wow.
and doing some writing for and with him. I also did corporate internships, which taught me that ये तो मैं नहीं कर पाऊंगी. So I did those with Orange and Ericsson, and that taught me कि ये वाला career थोड़ा अलग लग रहा है. I volunteered with a bunch of organizations. One of the most interesting gigs that I did was, and at that point I didn't think too much about how does it really affect the person I'm doing this for. But kids in IB schools often have to write these essays that they need to submit in schools, right? There are legit agencies that work on getting them written from someone else, and they pay you for doing that. And
okay. I didn't know this.
So it was a book review job. I loved reading. And so they would send me just like books to read, and they would ask me to write their reviews. And the idea was that it should be fully non-plagiarized. So I got to read a bunch of books and write their reviews and just send it to an agency. So that was...
और ये किसी बच्चे का काम था that...
Yeah,
wow,
unfortunately. Okay. So that was one of the gigs. The other thing was, I had a small band in college that took off. So we performed across pubs in Delhi, and we got money, and it was great, and we got free food. That was also wonderful. So वो एक चीज करी, और ये एक दो और internships करी, और इन सब से थोड़े पैसे भी आए. So what, where I was finding joy, I also found some money in those spaces. Another really fun thing was, and I truly could have gone into that field, was हमारे college में एक RJ Hunt हुआ Red FM में. And all like kids from Delhi who wanted to be an RJ came, and I just got to know कि ये हमारे college में हो रहा है. मैं चली गई, मैं दिल्ली में first आई, पूरा दिल्ली में मैं first आ गई RJ Hunt में. I was like, ये क्या हुआ है यहाँ पे? And I also remember I did like create like an RJ voice and RJ persona, वो सब किया मैंने. और फिर जो उनका final competition था, उसमें सिर्फ they would choose like 2 people who make it to the top across India, and they would hire. If I came in the top 2, I would have actually become an RJ, पर मैं top 2 में नहीं आई, मैं top 10 में ही रह गई, और top 2 में नहीं आई, तो फिर और चीजें हुई लाइफ में. But that was also something interesting that happened to me in Delhi.
So you did so much, मतलब इतनी सारी interesting चीजें. I mean, doesn't even feel like engineering college. क्योंकि मैंने तो कुछ नहीं किया था ऐसा. But and after that you did like your first job was so different. तो how did you land up in your first job, right? मतलब Teach for India कैसे हुआ फिर?
Yeah. इंजीनियरिंग में बहुत कुछ चल रहा था ये सब के साथ. जो मेरी एक बहुत कंसिस्टेंट चीज़ थी इन इंजीनियरिंग, which brought me a lot of सुकून, I would say, was this weekly class I used to take. So हमारे कॉलेज में ही कुछ बच्चों का एक NGO था, उसका नाम था कोशिश. और हम लोग क्या करते थे कि हमारे आसपास, कॉलेज के आसपास के स्लम्स के कुछ बच्चे हमारे कॉलेज में लगभग रोज आते थे शाम को पढ़ने, and some of us would get together and teach them. And I was like, I'm not teaching math science to anybody, I'm going to teach music. So I will do the music class. And I did that week on week for about like 3 years out of my 4 years of engineering. And that became like the space that, you know, gave me so much purpose and joy and meaning. And
So it made engineering livable for you.
it made engineering very very livable. एंड उसके अलावा भी मैं 2-3 और जगह वॉलंटियर कर रही थी मैं, यू नो, एक राजबाला फाउंडेशन करके है, दे वर्क विद चिल्ड्रन विद टर्मिनल डिजीजेस, तो उनको भी जाके आई वुड डू आर्ट एक्टिविटीज और आई वुड डू म्यूजिक थिंग्स विद देम, विद अ फ्रेंड ऑफ माइंड कॉल्ड वेदेश. हम दोनों ऐसे गिटार और लेके गाते थे बच्चों के लिए और ये सब करते थे, तो ऐसे वॉलंटियरिंग के अपॉर्चुनिटीज भी थे साथ में. सो ऑल ऑफ दिस वाज हैपनिंग एंड I was one of the first students in our engineering batch to quickly get placed, and I truly think it was because we spoke well.
Plus, you had so much on your resume.
I did have a lot on my resume.
Yeah.
That is true. I was doing so many things, and I did not do it from a purpose of resume building, but अच्छा resume लग रहा था कि ऐसे क्लास के बाहर भी बहुत कुछ किया है. तो जल्दी से प्लेसमेंट हो गया, और जब प्लेसमेंट हो गया आई थिंक आई वॉज वेरी क्लियर कि ये नहीं करना है. और बहुत ही शुक्रगुजार हूँ दैट something like Teach for India existed, and I had seen pictures of people from Teach for India in the classroom, and they just felt so happy. You know, they were all smiling in their classrooms, kids were smiling, and it had Teach for India. You know, it felt like nation building. It felt like, you know, it wasn't just about reading, writing, arithmetic in a classroom. Like, it was about building a country, because, you know, education changes lives, and education changes especially lives of those who come from the most marginalized sections of our society. तो ऐसा लगा कि यार कुछ इंडिया के लिए कंट्रीब्यूशन हो जाएगा शायद, और मुझे नहीं पता था मेरी लाइफ कैसे बदलेगी, बट I did it at that point because it felt like doing an act of nation building by joining the fellowship. It felt like something I could do well, because I was already teaching music, and I felt like, you know, I'm a good teacher, and that's what I told Teach for India when we did the interview. And really the third part was that it was a paid opportunity. It didn't pay much, but it paid enough that I didn't have to ask for money from home. And for a long time in my college as well, I had stopped asking for money at home because, you know, I was earning through all of these situations. So so Teach for India in kuch reasons ki wajah se just made sense, and I am glad that happened.
Or ghar pe, how was it, right? Like, because I'm sure almost all fellows I've talked to have fought a battle at home somewhere. How was it for you at home?
Yeah, I think engineering करने के बाद Teach for India join करना was the first battle ever that I fought at home. Thankfully, it wasn't a battle where, you know, I was just expelled or I was just like, ये हमारी बच्ची नहीं है, वो नहीं था. पर वहाँ भी पहुँच सकता था. ऐसे आसान नहीं था, I think, to tell your parent, especially a single parent, right, that they've invested in an engineering degree, and then you know, मैंने ऐसे GRE वगैरह दे दिया था उस टाइम, और मिल जाता मास्टर्स लाइक एन MS, और तो वो भी उस तरफ भी कुछ ख्याल जा रहे थे. और to say that, you know, I'm going to do none of that, I'm not going to take the job that I've gotten selected for, but I'm going to become a teacher, it just seemed like a bizarre idea, and I can also now empathize and understand that. तो घर पे बैटल तो रहा है, especially so it's my mother, and then there's extended family who would put pressure on her, right, because we live in a patriarchal world. तो उन पे भी प्रेशर था, तो वो भी मैं समझती हूँ कि उन पे प्रेशर था. तो अब मेरे ऊपर भी आया प्रेशर. बहुत बहुत अच्छा हुआ कि मैं घर पे नहीं थी धर्मशाला में, मैं दिल्ली में थी. मैंने फोन पे बोला ये तो मैं कर रही हूँ. अब इस रास्ते से मैं नहीं हट रही हूँ, ये मैंने डिसीजन ले लिया.
उनका ड्रीम था कि आप मास्टर्स करके अच्छी नौकरी करके कुछ करोगे, या कोई और ड्रीम था वहाँ पे उनका?
तो ये तो था ही मास्टर्स वाला. हाँ. और एक जो हमारे सब छोटे शहरों में माँ बाप का सपना होता है, यूपीएससी वाला सपना भी था. मेरे कई टीचर्स का भी ये यूपीएससी वाला सपना था. आई थिंक जिन भी बच्चों को, यू नो, किताबें पढ़ने का शौक होता है, उनके टीचर्स को ये सपना आ जाता है कि इनको यूपीएससी कराना चाहिए. तो एक टाइम पे वो भी एक सपना था. एक बार my mother also took me to meet like a DM or someone who was an IS in Dharamshala. And I was maybe in 4th grade. And as a curious child, I met that person, asked them a lot of questions about their job. So very, very happy, came back home from. So my mother is like, अच्छा कैसा लगा? And I'm like, मम्मी बहुत अच्छा लगा. And my mother is like, तो अब क्या करना है? So I told my mother, मम्मी आप क्यों नहीं बनते IAS?
So that's a good answer. ये अच्छी चीज है.
हाँ.
But you did all of this और आप Teach for India में आ गए, and was there a struggle? Like did your parent even understand this, right? Because मुझे पता है, I think the 4 years and I was not even a fellow, और मेरी माँ सोचती कर क्या रही है राजस्थान के गांव में.
Yeah.
मतलब what was that struggle at home? Because it's not easy to navigate. I think ये fellowships आप सारे इतने courage से sign up कर लेते हो और चले भी जाते हो घर छोड़ के, बट वो घर पे constant struggle वो समझते भी है कि आप कर क्या रहे हो वहाँ पे, इसलिए.
हाँ, आई थिंक उनकी भी गलती नहीं है,
हाँ.
क्योंकि वो उनको क्या पता, ये नई चीज़ है, नए ज़माने की चीज़ है, ये फेलोशिप करना है ना, तो कुछ हद तक तो हमारा भी रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी है कि उनको बताना कि अच्छा क्या हो रहा है, मैं क्या काम करती हूँ, मेरा दिन कैसा दिखता है, मेरी क्या मुश्किलें
So she
हैं.
understood bits and pieces
She
of it.
understood bits and pieces also because my mum had been a teacher, so she knew that
Yeah.
she knew what it was on a day-to-day basis. I think the harder part was to convey the why and the purpose of and how, what is the bigger picture and what it leads to. That was slightly harder, and even until my second year, I think sometimes my mother just felt like it was something I was doing to escape the responsibility of being an adult and having a real job which paid real money. And in a way, I'm truly grateful that Slam Out Loud, blossomed and it took off and had people come and join it and support it. All of that happened, and slowly, it went from कि अच्छा कुछ तो अच्छा हो रहा है.
So was there a point where you felt like, मतलब ये समझ ही नहीं रहे what I am doing? So were there points at that juncture throughout that career that you felt like, I've done so much, I'm working so hard, and they don't get me at all, or they don't get what I am doing at all?
Multiple points. I think one really big one was in my second year, I was on a call with my mom and she was like, ये drama कब खत्म होगा? And, in that moment, I just teared up. I was like, मैं पिछले रात के 2 बजे तक ऐसे बैठ के लेसन प्लान बना रही थी बच्चों के साथ करने के लिए, and I just felt कि पर ये ड्रामा नहीं है, ये तो मेरा लाइफ है, and so it hurt a little bit. Retrospectively, truly my answer here is that हमारे माँ बाप के उनके जनरेशन के लिए ये समझना कि कैसे हम ये डिसीजंस ले रहे हैं, कैसे ये करे जाया है, मुश्किल है, और बहुत बड़ा क्रेडिट भी है ऑल्दो टू माय मम, राइट? लाइक दिस my mother has brought me up in a certain way where I'm able to say, even if it is to her, that this is what I'm going to do and it's my choice and it's my voice here. So
she's given you that space, even though she's struggling with it.
Yeah. So she's bearing the brunt of what she has taught me, right? Which is to be independent. So ऐसे ही होता है.
सही बात है. I've said the same thing to my father. आपने आवाज दी है तो हम ही इसलिए हम वापस बोल रहे हैं.
Have you heard this? जब बोए पेड़ बबूल का तो आम कहाँ से खाए? So it's like a good version of that.
It's fair. And then, tell us about Slam Out Loud. I think that's your baby, right? You've been 8 साल हो गए अब तो.
8 साल हो गए.
Tell us a little bit about that. And obviously, that made you went to Harvard in the middle somewhere, but tell us what you're doing at Slam Out Loud and tell us a little bit about that.
Yes. Slam Out Loud truly comes from a space of, creating safe spaces where our children can find their own voice. And the arts are such a fabulous way to do that, right? There is so much research in the world that talks about how our children build skills like curiosity, imagination, analytical thinking, agency using the arts. लेकिन हमारे schools में, especially low-income schools across India, we don't create any spaces where children can actually find their own voice or build all of these skills. So Slam Out Loud uses art forms like theatre, poetry, storytelling, visual art, dance, movement, music, everything to create those spaces जिसमें बच्चे अपना ये वाले skills build कर सकें. And these are skills that help children thrive in their lives. These are skills that enable them to break, the cycle of negative outcomes they have, especially if they come from adverse backgrounds. तो Slam Out Loud ये बदलता है, और हम ये 2 तरीकों से बदलते हैं. One way is we run a fellowship that places art educators into classrooms. So these art educators are really, really talented individuals who have formal experiences in the arts, and they also mostly come from backgrounds like psychology or art therapy.
This is
And
Jijivisha Fellowship.
the Jijivisha Fellowship,
right.
yes. And so we place them across low-income private schools across Delhi, Pune, Bombay, and Bangalore.
Nice.
यहाँ से हम सीखते हैं. It's almost like a lab-to-scale model. So the fellowship is almost like a lab where we experiment a lot, where it's a very closely monitored kind of program. Fellows are trained and all of that good stuff. And then we change at both policy and implementation level कि गवर्नमेंट स्कूल्स में आर्ट्स होना चाहिए और कैसे होता है. सो वी वर्क विद 3 state governments right now, and the idea is that first, enough art teachers exist in the system, so if we need to support the government in hiring more art teachers, we do that. फिर उसका curriculum होना चाहिए अच्छा. So to give you an example, पंजाब में the last time the art curriculum changed was in 1971.
Wow.
And 70% of it is geometry. So बच्चे आर्ट क्लास में geometry पढ़ते थे. चलो कम से कम आर्ट क्लास थी वहाँ पे. तो अब हम गवर्नमेंट के साथ काम कर रहे हैं, changing that curriculum in how teachers are trained and how this class becomes about building these socio-emotional learning skills हमारे दुनिया में कहते हैं. And then we support in implementing, doing the monitoring, evaluation, etc. तो हम 3 states के साथ काम करते हैं और 4 cities में in changing how an art class looks like.
And अगर मैं जर्नी को देखूं, I mean when you started, मतलब I'm assuming you were very young at that point. You're still very young. तो struggle तो हुआ होगा ना, because पैसे कैसे लाते to start this out, right? A social entrepreneur. It was a man's world. I think 10 साल पहले जब मैं इंडिया आई थी, ज़्यादातर philanthropists सारे and almost all entrepreneurs were men.
Yeah.
I knew some few ekada इधर, but they were coming from spaces जहाँ उनके पास पैसे थे.
Yeah.
Or they were coming from families that they had access, like South Bombay वाले लोग.
Yeah.
So how did you navigate all of this, right? Because if I'm looking at young students in colleges right now, बोल देते हैं NGO खोल देंगे हम, but पैसे कहाँ से लाते हो यार, कैसे बनाते हो ये, या journey कैसे navigate करते हो? Because it can't be easy 8 साल तक to fund right now. How big is the organization? कितने लोग हैं अभी?
About 64.
हाँ, तो it's a fairly big org. I won't put your budgets out there.
Yes.
But it's a big organization. So just that navigation, that challenge of raising money, to think about it. And you must have started with barely any savings in the bank if you started with Teach for India, क्योंकि बहुत पैसे नहीं देते हमें social sector में ऐसे भी. तो how was that for you then to like navigate that journey fully for you? So
yeah, I think naivety has a big role to play in the decision of becoming an entrepreneur, especially at that age. I think if at 27 you told me become an entrepreneur, I would think about it. I think at that, I was 22 years old when Slam Out Loud started. I was just like, this seems like a great idea. Why don't I do it, as an organization? So naivety and the courage that comes from naivety truly played a big role at that point of time. Thankfully, what did exist in the ecosystem, which I knew did not exist a few years before me, was things like, these incubators. So we applied to every incubator under the sun, and thankfully got accepted into those programs. So got some seed money because of that. And again, so glad that happened, क्योंकि अपने पैसे तो नहीं थे शुरू करने के. So had to sit down and think about what is our offering. In retrospect, again, I think it's a good thing that happened, because I didn't have my own money or even inherited wealth that I could do this from. I had to spend time on what is it that I'm trying to do. I had never seen my work from a lens of what is the problem I'm trying to solve. So much of it came from, when I brought art into my own classroom, I saw how wonderful it was for my kids and had a bunch of personal experiences where I knew that art changes lives. But then to sit down to make a business plan, to sit down to think of problem kya solve karte ho, theory of change kya hai, these were great questions to think about, and this happened because I had to apply to these multiple incubators to get some money. तो वहाँ से कुछ पैसा आया, और फिर had a mentor, Darshan Bhaiya, who offered that I do this job of org development work for some for-profits on the side and run Slam Out Loud.
So in a sense, you took a job up with your
with Slam Out Loud,
which a lot of entrepreneurs do in the non-profit world also.
So, so there was some moonlighting involved for a bit, and gave myself a year to do that and raise some money. So I set myself a goal that at the end of this, I will have raised money for 3 or 4 people. So, and I did end up raising money for 3 or 4 people, and then I jumped in full time. So it wasn't like, and also didn't come from that privilege where I could be like, I leave my job today and from tomorrow I will do this. Had to plan a little bit of कि अच्छा ये करेंगे और इतना खुद को टाइम देंगे और शायद इसके बाद will be able to take the leap. So taking the leap took a little bit of time, but it happened.
और टीच फॉर इंडिया क्या फिर अब ये तो घर पे तो मम्मा ने बोला होगा भाई ये इसका तो दिमाग ही खराब हो गया है.
धीरे धीरे ठीक हो गया.
अच्छा.
घर पे आई थिंक जब मम्मी ने देखा क्या चीजें हो रही हैं, आई वुड सेंड वीडियोस फ्रॉम किड्स परफॉर्मिंग and more conversations changed it. And I think that is in the end what we can do, right? Like keep sharing and parents understand at some point, I think, or people around us understand, and even if they don't understand half of it, they understand 1/4 of it, and that's also okay. तो तब ठीक हो गया. तब तक ठीक था. Then she was, I think, on board.
And Harvard must have been the cherry on the top for her.
It was fully, I think, मेरी मम्मी मुझे कहती रहती थी कि तूने तो कहा था तू मास्टर्स करेगी. तूने कहा. I was just like, when the Harvard thing happened, I was like, ये हो गई. और जब मास्टर्स खत्म भी हो गई, truly my degree is with my mother. I'm like, ये लो. आपको डिग्री चाहिए थी, आप ले लो. So I think pushing me for that was also truly my mother's. Like she pushed me to do a master's and I did it, and बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छा intellectual experience था. So I am delighted and thrilled that I got to do a master's at such a wonderful place.
And I mean, even that journey for the masters was not easy for you, right? The scholarship to nahi thi.
Yeah.
You raised that money to go for it. So I mean, I'm just looking at each stage of your life, like you sort of hard work, har cheez mein hard work karke.
Yeah.
Because this was also what, like a lot of individuals contributed to your journey to go to Harvard.
Yeah. I think उस समय मुझे पता चला कि ऐसे सिर्फ अप्लाई करना और एडमिशन मिल जाना इज नॉट द डील. इट इज द स्मॉलर पार्ट ऑफ द डील. द बिगर पार्ट ऑफ द डील इज ट्रूली द मनी. एंड ऑफ कोर्स आई डिडंट हैव again the privilege to take a loan, and I would have had to leave Slam Out Loud and do something else and take up a job in the US etc. to, if I had to repay a loan. तो उस टाइम कुछ स्लैम आउट लाउड के एग्जिस्टिंग सपोर्टर्स आए और उन्होंने मुझे पैसे दिए पढ़ने के लिए, और कुछ नए सपोर्टर्स भी आए और फिर वो स्लैम आउट लाउड को भी और सपोर्ट करने लगे एज एन ऑर्गेनाइजेशन. सो आई थिंक truly like an ecosystem came around me to support me on that journey. और मेरा काम इसमें ये था कि अपने बारे में और हमारे काम के बारे में एक सच्ची कहानी कह पाना, और and not from the polish of a marketer, but I think people connect to real stories, and it's a real story of a girl who's come from Dharamshala, wants to study there, got in.
And you were what, like 26 at that point of time? 25, 26?
28.
अच्छा, ठीक
बड़ी
है.
हो गई थी.
इतनी बड़ी तो नहीं हुए. But quite young. I mean, I'm saying even now you're very young. So, but that's, I mean, it's impressive ना. मतलब, I think वो तो you put yourself out there.
Yeah.
मतलब ज़्यादातर लोग don't put themselves out there, don't even ask. You asked for help and the world sort of came around you to help you.
Yeah.
And I mean, if I look at it right now, right, like you're growing. I mean, there's so much you've done. You've taken a fellowship. You've done Echoing Green. I don't know कितनी fellowships अब तो मैं हर जगह देखती हूँ. You're doing some very cool fellowship.
सारी fellowship कर लूँगी मैं.
हाँ. नहीं, और बहुत बढ़िया है. I think fellowships help because they help you grow. I think जिज्ञासा जो धर्मशाला में थी, did she even think that she would traverse this journey? मतलब, would you have thought कि आप यहाँ एक organization चलाते with so many people, Harvard जाते, पता नहीं, so many things. अगर मैं लिस्ट करने बैठूं तो पन्ने मतलब बहुत सारे फुल हो जाएंगे. तो did you think you would do this?
बिल्कुल भी नहीं. I think एक ऐसी जगह पे पली बड़ी जहाँ पे कंपटीशन नाम की चीज़ बहुत ज़्यादा नहीं थी, और वो बहुत ही सुंदर चीज़ हुई मेरे साथ. मैं बहुत खुश हूँ कि वो हुआ. मुझे शायद 10th या 11th ग्रेड में पता चला होगा कि हार्वर्ड यूनिवर्सिटी भी कोई यूनिवर्सिटी है. मैंने नहीं सोचा कि मैं उसमें जाके पढ़ूंगी. मैं किसी को नहीं जानती थी जो उस यूनिवर्सिटी में गए. धर्मशाला से कोई नहीं जाता ऐसे हार्वर्ड स्टैनफोर्ड टाइप की यूनिवर्सिटीज़ में, राइट. तो मुझे नहीं पता था. मुझे बस पता था IIT कोई बड़ी चीज़ है. वो भी मुझे 9th-10th में ही शायद जाके पता चला कि IIT कोई बड़ी यूनिवर्सिटी है, पर ये हार्वर्ड वगैरह के बारे में नहीं पता था. और मुझे एंटरप्रेन्योर तो बिल्कुल ही नहीं बनना था. मुझे नौकरी करनी थी.
So you wanted a nice life where you'd get a job, get money in the...
Yes.
Yeah.
तो मेरे जॉब भी बहुत चेंज हुए. ऑफ कोर्स मुझे सबसे पहले एस्ट्रोनॉट बनना था, फिर पायलट भी बनना था, फिर मुझे किसी पॉइंट पे जर्नलिस्ट भी बनना था, क्योंकि मुझे ऐसा लगा मुझे पढ़ने लिखने का शौक है. सो UPSC डिडंट हैपन. लाइक नहीं मन हुआ UPSC या IAS ऑफिसर बनने का, पर ये सब चीज़ें करने का मन हुआ. और but I think where I had settled on was, we'll do a nice job and we'll do well at whatever job I get to do. So, and I tell this to a lot of my friends that so much of my life right now is a bonus because I did not have these dreams of me. And any day that I feel disappointed in myself or disappointed in, losing a grant or not getting a donor or doing badly as a leader in the organization, I try and remind myself that ये सब मेरे सपनों के बाहर है जो मुझे मिल गया और मुझे मिल रहा है. तो काफी अमेजिंग है उस तरीके से अगर देखा जाए तो सब कुछ ऑलरेडी बोनस में चल रहा है लाइफ में.
So you've done a lot of things that people dream about. Like, I have a young girl that I mentor from Delhi University, and she wants to be a TFI fellow because she came out of a TFI school. But I don't think she's dreaming as big, and वो सोच भी नहीं रही हो. मैं उसको बोलती हूँ तू हार्वर्ड जा सकती है because I think of you, I think of others, like Himakshi. और तो ये what would you tell people like them, right? Girls like them, or I think children in general who don't dream as big, because I don't think you were dreaming either, but ये हो गया जैसे आप बोल रहे हो bonus. But अगर ना सोचे और अभी से dream करे, what do you think? Should they even dream, or how should they dream or think about this?
It's such a beautiful question, right? How do we dream? और एक बहुत ही बड़ा distinction है in children who come from homes with very high privilege and children who don't. तो Slam Out Loud के अंदर भी हम एक बच्चों के साथ assessment करते हैं which is about imagination. और उसमें हम एक psychometric test लेते हैं which is to understand a little bit of your imagination, and there is enough evidence that we've seen in-house that shows that children from high-income backgrounds, when they do that test, they rate very high on imagination. But children who don't come from those families rate very low, right? If you come from a home which has a lot of privilege, you can imagine a different career. You can imagine marrying someone you love. You can imagine doing so many things in your life which a child from low-income families cannot, or a child with lower exposure cannot. तो imagination truly limit हो जाती है हमारे बैकग्राउंड से. लेकिन अगर हमें अपॉर्चुनिटीज मिलें जहाँ पे हम अपने बारे में ज़्यादा जान पाएं या हमें वो एक्सपीरियंसेस मिलें, आई थिंक दैट इमेजिनेशन देन कीप्स ग्रोइंग एंड देन ड्रीम्स ग्रो विद दैट एक्सपोजर, लर्निंग, दुनिया में देखना क्या चल रहा है. और अब इंटरनेट के साथ तो द प्लेइंग फील्ड ओनली हैज बिकम द सेम in some bad ways, where you're on Instagram where also the supermodels are and you're on the same platform, but then the good parts of it are also that you learn more of these other stories where people from really humble backgrounds have done things that they didn't imagine of in their life. So क्योंकि अब हमारे पास वो stories हैं, hopefully that enable more and more kids to dream more. I think spending time in pursuing things that you love and pursuing them to a level of excellence, I think opens up more dreams. Because I got an opportunity to get into facilitating and teaching and doing something I was good at and then honing that skill slowly, and then got to dabble into entrepreneurship, building that skill. तो जब मैं अच्छी होती गई स्किल में तो मेरे सपने बड़े होते गए साथ साथ. और थोड़ा सा हैपनस्टांस था इसमें कि आया कोई अपॉर्चुनिटी सामने, लेकिन फॉर्चून ऑल्सो फेवर्स द ब्रेव. तो हम अपना पूरा लाइफ जिस तरीके से जीते हैं और अगर करेजियसली जीते हैं तो फिर मुझे लगता है कि अपॉर्चुनिटीज आती हैं और फिर हम उन्हें ले लेते हैं. तो
मेक इट साउंड वेरी सिंपल, बट like what I'm hearing is you've done so much work, right? Throughout college you did so much.
Yeah.
TFI you did so much. You went out of your way to sort of excel and shine.
Yeah.
Which is why you're standing where you're standing right now at this age. हाँ बैठे हो. हाँ. और दुनिया में खड़े हो, जहाँ देखती हूँ वहाँ you're shining over there. So I think that's the beauty of it, right? Like, but no, I mean what I feel like I tell young kids is कि कुछ और करो, like
करो यार.
Get out of your comfort zones and go work, because that is what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah.
कि बहुत सारा करो तो opportunities will open up for you.
100%. Like if you're in your head, you're dead.
Yeah.
Is true. अपने दिमाग में मत रहो, दुनिया में जाके चीजें करो और कुछ होगा. Like some spark will ignite somewhere, but we need to like step out. We need to do more things. I think हम जिंदगी ऐसे दिमाग में नहीं जी सकते हैं, दुनिया में ही जीनी पड़ती है. तो फॉर्चुनेटली और अनफॉर्चुनेटली, पर चीज़ें करने से ही पता चलता है कि हमें क्या नहीं पसंद है ना. एंड इंजीनियरिंग में भी नहीं जाती तो मेहनत करना नहीं सीखती और ये भी नहीं पता चलता कि ये वाला नौकरी एग्जैक्टली नहीं करना है. दूसरी अच्छी चीज़ें करी, 50 ट्राई करी, उनमें से 2-3 लगाई, स्टिक कर गई. आई थिंक वी हैव टू मेक इनफ बेट्स टू let one of the bets stick.
Oh, makes sense. And I think we're going to do a quick rapid fire.
Oh,
So I just have
coffee with
three
Karan.
simple questions. I think they do this in all the podcasts.
Yes.
So one simple one. I think this is obviously going on with what we do at We All also. So one misconception about I think working free or volunteering that you have out there.
That you're wasting your time. Time, we give meaning to things. It's things inherently don't have meaning. So it is no different from studying for an exam or practicing a skill you do well. Yeah.
And one cause you would dedicate your time to if you had a month or so. I mean, you're already dedicating your life to a cause, but if there's something else besides that you have in your head.
I think forests, like, working on कि nature में क्या हो रहा है, conservation में क्या हो रहा है, that would be amazing because, grew up in Himachal, grew up in Dharamshala, सारे पेड़ वेड़ कट गए हैं, तो उस पे.
And then finally, I think your message to the We All community, especially because Slam Out Loud is on We All and we are offering internships from you. So, and I think you're planning something interesting also if that happens. What's your message to the youth that are on the community?
Yes. Okay, तो हमारी दुनिया में इस समय इतनी सारे प्रॉब्लम्स हैं that it can often feel overwhelming कि मैं कौन सा प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करूं क्योंकि दुनिया में प्रॉब्लम्स ही प्रॉब्लम्स हैं. But when you're in a community that actually gives you a chance to pick one problem and see how you can contribute or be part of a solution more than armchair activism, it's an opportunity worth taking, and it's an opportunity that could lead you to your purpose, or an opportunity that could make you feel like come alive, make you feel like I found something that I deeply, deeply care about and I'm passionate about. So make use of this opportunity, क्योंकि जब हम बाहर निकलते हैं दुनिया में और काम करते हैं और जब हम देखते हैं कि हमारे काम से कुछ फर्क पड़ा है दुनिया में, I think nothing compares to that feeling of being able to point at something and say that, I did this or I made this happen.
Thank you so much for doing this. I think this is a wonderful conversation. I think I've known you for so many years and I didn't know so much about you. So this is so nice. I think this is very inspiring. Your journey is, I wish I had done as much as you had done. So thank you. Thank you for doing this.
Your journey is your journey, Bindi, and it is beautiful. And I wish I had some of that journey, including making some money in life. But I enjoyed this conversation too, and I'm glad to be here.
Thank you for joining us on this episode and hearing about Jigyasa's journey. If you want any other speakers or any leaders that you are excited about, please let us know. Like, share, subscribe, and check the interesting opportunities that Slam Out Loud has on the platform and see all the interesting organizations we have on We All. So thank you very much. We'll see you on the next episode.